Okay, we're good.
Okay. Well, this is actually my first call that I've ever done with a guest host, so I'm excited to have you on the call for our first guest. It was an absolute honor to be in the house with you at Summit and to just watch you. Like, we're on vacation / business trip, and you was like, I got power hour to do. And I'm like, what? Like, so it was awesome to watch somebody have that type of dedication. And I know I personally need to learn it, and kind of try to duplicate what you do, but make it my own. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to hear it again, and also for my team. And I also shared the link with my success partner and my other really good friend, for her team as well. So you've probably got your team and a couple other teams on tonight. So that's awesome.
Cool,
So,
yeah, and I'll record it so we can share that out to anybody who couldn't get on.
all right, great. So do your thing, girl.
All right, cool. All right, so I will keep everyone muted so that we have a clean recording. But just to FYI, I'm going to unmute at the end for any questions. Something I'm just going to suggest is make sure you're taking notes. I talk really fast, and I'm going to try to be aware of that. When I was a teacher, it was a lot easier. I was aware that I talked fast, so I worked really hard to not talk fast. But now that I've been a full-time coach for a year, I forget what it's like to be around normal humans. So I will try my best to slow down. Because I'm going to give you a lot of info, which is the other reason I'm going to make sure that I record it, because there's some files I'm going to screen share, and you guys, I'll send you guys any of the files that I have too. So I'll cliff notes my story, and then I'm going to jump right into kind of some content. So for those who don't know me, I'm Kara Harvey. Hello. I'm also on a Team on Fire coach. I am currently a 2-star diamond, and I've been coaching for about 3 years. I found Beachbody because me and my husband were both doing Weight Watchers, and he had lost like 20 or 30 pounds and I had lost 5. And I was like, what the heck? Like, this isn't fair. Like, this isn't right. Like, what are you doing? And he said, I'm doing P90X. What are you doing? And I said, I'm going to the gym, which meant like this, like, hey, a treadmill. I'm never touching a weight. Like, that feeling. Like, I've seen people on this elliptical machine. Like, I should do this. And so, I was like, all right, let me Google this Beachbody thing because he looked amazing. And I found Turbo Jam. I bought it on Amazon. And I'm going to throw that out there too. Like, I think sometimes we get don't know how to handle people who don't buy from us, or how we want to interact with them. But I'm glad I was never counted out, because I was a person who bought it on Amazon because I was cheap. And I then found I lost a little bit of weight and I loved it. So I wanted to do Turbo Fire, but I was scared out of my mind because it looked really freaking scary. And so I found Chalene Extreme, and I was like, all right, this is middle of the ground. Let me try this. And I bought it on Amazon. But what happened then was I had gone to the message boards because I wanted to get a coach, because I had desperately wanted to lose weight since I was in about 6th grade. I had tried everything. I had asked my parents for help. They didn't know what to do. They didn't think it was a problem. I was Italian. We just ate a lot. It is what it is. But I was obese, and because of not dealing with my emotions, I wound up drinking and eating my way into obesity. And I'm 5'1", and I was over 200 pounds, and I didn't like the person I was. And so I went to the message boards, which meant I signed up for a free account, which meant I was a customer lead that no one ever contacted. Hint, hint, plug, plug, call your customer leads. They sign up for a reason, whether they get back to you or not. And I actually even found someone on the message boards, a very well-known blonde that we probably all know. And I thought, wow, she's really pretty. I want her to be my coach. And I messaged her and I said, will you be my coach? And she never got back to me. Yes, I know. Yep. But it all worked out because I then went to YouTube, because that's where I found motivation. And I was searching success stories. And if you've never seen Hillary's transformation story, Hillary Kelly's my coach. It really hit me. Everything she said, about losing yourself along the way, and her journey just really connected with me. So then I stalked her on Facebook for 4 or 5 months before I talked to her. Again, another lesson. People are always watching. And then I finally talked to her, and she invited me to her group, and I said I wasn't going to drink Shakeology because I didn't want to pay for it, because I thought I was a failure. I had spent money on diet pills and wraps, and you name it, I had bought it, and I had failed at everything. And so my husband, for my birthday that year, bought me a box of Shakeology, and I'm so thankful that he did, because if he hadn't, I would have never had it. And then I would have never known how much my body needed it. So then, long story short, I finally joined a challenge group with Hillary. And about a week in, I realized I couldn't afford Shakeology. And I told her if she had to kick me out of the group, it was okay, because I didn't know what to do. And she just presented the coach discount to me. And I said, all right, whatever, I'll save money. So then I was a discount coach for like 4 or 5 months, because I didn't really want to, I was a teacher. I didn't want to do anything else. So then I went to my first coach summit, and I came back and I said, wow, I could really do this and enjoy it and not work 80 hours a week and burn myself out. And, you know, I'd lost my identity along the way. I don't know if any of you guys are like in education, but you just, or in general in life, like you give so much to other people that you forget who you are. And I was at the time Miss Camilleri, and that's who I'd been for 8 years. And I didn't know who Kara was, because that Kara, like, I didn't like who she was. And I honestly, from the time I was like 16 to 26, was drunk most of the time. And I didn't know who that person really was. And I was scared. But I took a massive leap of faith, and I prayed about it, and I didn't know what to do. And my husband said, if this is what like God's plan is for you, let's do it. Go full-time coach. And so I worked my butt off for the year. And in June of last year, I went full-time, and it's been a year now, and it's just been a blessing. I left not making what I made teaching. Like, it was a financial loss. And I will tell you too that when I left, I said to my husband, oh, we're going to be cool, right? Like, you make money, like we can pay our bills, we'll be okay. He said, we're fine. And then 2 months later, he lost his job. And we went from all of our income to a lot less. It was a really tough couple months, but I was faithful, because I knew it was going to work out. And now he has an amazing job again, paying him more than he had before. I have not only matched my teaching income, but I've surpassed it. Last month I made more taking home than, like, this week alone I made double what I took home as a teacher. And it's incredible. And it wasn't like that. But the one thing that has helped me tremendously is organization and time management, because without it, I would be lost. When I first went full-time coach, I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, I don't know how to fill my time. I don't know how to fill my life. Like, I do a power hour, but I'm home all day, you know, and it didn't make sense to me. And when I was teaching, I had 10-minute chunks. That's like all I had. And I was like, I did a little in the morning, a little at night, and I just kind of tried to do everything. And so I have found, for me, a system that really keeps me so organized, so that when it is time to do my, my power hour, I can do it, and I get it done in 2 hours a day. And like today, actually, I had made my schedule for the whole year. For next week. And I posted it on my social media. You guys can feel free to look at it. Like, it's legit what my week looks like. And I really do a power hour, and I'll show you guys tonight, it's really 2 hours a day of Beachbody work. And then the rest of my day is mentoring, coach calls, prospect calls, whatever. But I can get all those basics done because I'm really focused on what I'm doing. And so I've come up with a couple really great, simple checklists that help, that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And I'm going to let you take. So I'm going to screen share. And then I'm going to show you kind of a bunch of stuff. And if I'm looking at my phone, I just can't see me. I have notes there. So I just want to show you. That's my family. Check us out. We're cute. All right. So the one thing I'm going to talk about is scheduling your time. So I use a Google Calendar. So I'm going to pull my calendar up real quick to schedule my time. And you have to schedule it out. So all summer, I wasn't scheduled. You know what? I want to minimize this a little so I can see you guys. Okay. But not that much. So all summer, I didn't schedule myself out. I was kind of a mess, and I was just traveling or whatever. So because school starts next week, we have my stepson every other week, I have to be pretty organized. So what I've done is I've gone through and I made this crazy looking thing. Okay. This is how I schedule my life. And I'm going to give you a couple tips on how to do it. And this is just a Google Calendar. And this is what I put on my page today. So the first thing I always do is I put in the stuff you can't change, working, the hours you work, or if you have to drop your kids off at school, if I have coach calls, I put those in first. And then I schedule in things that are aligned with my priorities. As you can see, for me, family time is a big one. When it's family time, I'm not on my phone and I'm not working. And if I have customers or coaches who can't respect that, they're not the type of people I want to work with, to be honest. You know, like I'm not chasing a sale. I'm not worrying about it because I'll get back to you when it's my block time. So I schedule in 2 hours a day to get my power hour done. That is basically it. On the weekends, maybe a couple more. Here I have a couple more hours to play around with. But that's what you need to do. So if you don't have scheduled hours, you need to put them. Now, look at it in one of two ways. If you can schedule a straight hour, I really suggest it because you're focused for that hour. But if you can't, honestly, schedule things in 10-minute chunks because you can get so much done in 10 minutes that you don't realize you could really get done. Put a 10-minute timer on your phone and only work on something for 10 minutes. And then by the end of the day, and honestly, I'm doing December. Like my life is going to change. Like that's how I'm going to have to run my business, isn't in 5-minute increments, if that. So I'm going to have to do the same thing. You know, think about what you can get done. Once you have your time scheduled, you need to be working from a list. So the business activity tracker Beachbody has, I think it's okay. I've kind of created my own. And I use the app called Wunderlist, even though I had a panic the other day because it dropped and now I can't get it to load back on my phone, but it's on the computer as well. So, but it is a really great app. And so I'm going to show you what I do. So here's kind of my Wunderlist. Actually, let me go. So I have all these categories on the side. Power hour, my personal development, some other personal things. I even have like my cleaning schedule. Like I literally plan everything out. And what I've done is, in my power hour, these are all the things that I do every single day for my power hour. My Instagram forming, my follow-ups, my invites, forming in general, clearing out my inbox. And if I could only work in 10-minute chunks, what I would do is I would set a 10-minute timer and I would just start at the top. And then I would do one thing. And literally, if I was to just do, let's see. So say I was to just do my Instagram forming, I could do that in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I can do that. Oh, if you want, I don't know who you are. Marilee, you can screenshot it. I don't know what kind of computer you have. If you have a Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, and you can take a screenshot of this too. And I'll send you guys this. But you could really do it in 10 minutes if you really focus on it. So I'm going to run through what's on my power hour list, and I'm going to show you another one real quick because you might like this one better. But what I like about this app is that every day, like as you can see today, I still have to do my Challenger check-in and notes because I do them at night before I go to bed, where I have these 2 sheets. So this is my current challenge group, these 2 pages. It's kind of intense. There's like 60 people in it. And so every night I just go through and I check and see who's engaged. So that I haven't done yet. But anything I have done is here. So as you can see, like I need to get my eyebrows done. Like I just put that down and I'm going to check that off. And like this, I was supposed to do, I don't know, forever ago, and I haven't done it yet. You know, so like there are things that still like kind of are looming tasks, but I work through this power hour list. So I want to show you mine, but I want to show you the one that I give my new coaches because I think that might be more helpful for where a lot of you are at in your business. So this is a daily checklist. It's really similar to the business activity tracker, but I think it just is easier to use. And I kind of put things, in my opinion, that are in the order of importance for your business. The other thing I will say is about my personal development and my workout. I used to put that in my power hour. Like I would schedule that in as part of my work time. And my corporate mentor laughed at me and he said, get that out of your work time. Like I have a job and I do personal development before I come in. Like you don't put that in your work hours. So workout and PD, like you can't count that as when you're working on your business. Like they're the vital behaviors and you have to do them, but you can't kind of count those. So this is kind of the order of importance that I think that you should do your day in. And again, if you can do things in 10-minute chunks, it'd be super easy. So you can drink your Shakeology, do your PD, and do your workout. Again, you can schedule these however. The one tip I'm going to give you before you open up your Facebook is to check your back office. Like you need to open it up. It's like if you had a restaurant, you would have to open it up, right? The second you open your Facebook, what happens? Notifications. Now I'm distracted and now I'm scrolling through and then there's a cute baby and now I don't know what to do. And then, you know, like, come on, like that's what's going to happen. So what I actually do is I open up my back office and I check a couple things. I check my volume. I check my coaches. I see if there's any breaking news. I make sure my customer orders are together. If I have any new customer leads, or new customers, I use Automatic CEO. So I enroll them in the Automatic CEO autoresponder. If I have a new lead, I send them a text. Hey, my name's Kara. I am your free Beachbody coach. Thanks for your order. You know, I was a customer just like you, and I'd love to help you on your goals. Let me know if you need anything, or what are your goals for the fall, or something like that, just to get them engaged with me. A lot of times they don't get back to me, but I don't care. I still bother them until they tell me to leave them alone. So then the next thing that I suggest you do is you post to your social media. Because at this point in the morning, maybe you've had your workout, maybe you've had your Shakeology, maybe you have a motivating quote you want to post, you know, something that you could give of value to people. Because it's really important that you're consistent on your social media and consistent in like your message and what you do. Like, you need to be posting 3 to 5 times a day. And when I say social media, I am talking your personal page. I think you should have a like page, but I'm talking about your personal page right now. So that's the very first thing I do. Then, before I even check in with my groups, before I do anything else, I empty my inbox from the messages from the night before. And I honestly wake up to anywhere between, like, I have, what does this say up here? Like, I've emptied it twice today. And I have, I think, sorry, this is my challenge group, but I have like 40 messages or something still that I still have to get to. Sorry, this is a little ridiculous. How do I get to the top quickly? Let me move that back. Oh, there we go. Oh, goodness. Sorry, I'm not really good with the tech. Yeah, like I've emptied my inbox and I still have 11 messages. And guess what? I've already emptied my inbox today. So I'm going to go to bed with 11 messages. I'm going to leave them there because I am going to go spend time with my husband after this. And then tomorrow, the first thing I'm going to do is answer these messages. And I leave them there and I'm okay with it. Then I go to my groups because, and I check in with my challengers because honestly, like I get sucked into them. Like they have a story and then there's an excitement and then there's like 7 things they want to talk about. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So I go in and I check in with my challenge group. I make sure that people are engaging. I send some private messages. At this point in my power hour, and honestly, if you were just to do this, just to post on social media, just to empty your inbox and check in with your groups, what's that, 15, 20 minutes? Do you know what I mean? Like it's not that long. So then I post on social media again, and then I do my invites. And the reason I have invites so far up on the list is because if you've read Eat That Frog, like invites are my frog. Like I always put them off to the last thing because they're always the hardest for me to do, and then they don't get done, but they're the most important. So I say for my new coaches, if you can do 2 a day, I'm going to share with you guys something. I hope I can rip it off. That I just started this month. Oh, shoot. That is like helped me so much. Hold on, I want to share it. I calendared out the entire rest of the year. So this is September and October. I just made a calendar and I bolded when my challenge groups are going to be. So like next Monday, I'm doing a 5-day water challenge. The 20th, I'm doing an open house. And then it goes to the next month. And then I just planned out exactly what I'm inviting for. So when I get to the invite on my power hour, I'm not going like, what am I inviting for? Because there's always something to invite to, right? You're like, oh my God, I have to invite to this and this and this. And like, you just become paralyzed. So like this week, I know I'm just inviting to my water challenge because that's what I have next. And then next week, I'm going to invite to the coaching opportunity because I have the open house coming up. And then I'll invite to my challenge. You know what I mean? Like, so this is really helpful. So if you've not planned out the rest of your year, spend some time doing it, because what happens is if we don't put our challenge groups on a calendar, we forget to invite for it. And then we only have like 3 people. And then we say, oh, I'll just push it back till next month. And then you're not running a group every month, right? Like that's reality. So that's been really helpful. And I'm going to show you another thing that's really helped me with my inviting. So then just moving through this list, I need to breathe. Okay. I check in with my current coaches, post on social media again. So this, where it says social media 15 contacts, most of my business right now is through Facebook and Instagram, cold market. When it started, it was all warm market. 3 years in, 85% of my business is people I don't know. And I'm gonna tell you something, I prefer to work with people I don't know. It's just so much easier, like so much pressure when you like know them in real life. So I prefer to work with strangers, but it's how I meet them. So on Facebook, what I do every day is I go into a Facebook group for something that I think my target market would enjoy. And I can show you if we have time what that looks like too and how you can do it. Because Facebook's so cool. You could put in your exact target market and it will tell you where they spend their time. And so I'll go into like some page about probably like fit pregnancy right now, right? And I'll say to someone, hey, Sheila, I saw you over on the Fit Mommies page, and I just wanted to say hi. I'm expecting in December my first. I love to connect with other positive moms. How old are your kids? Or something like that. Like, hey, I saw you on the Scrapbooking for Dummies page. I like scrapbooking too. Like, what's your favorite scrapbook? Or I don't know, whatever. And I do this to 15 people a day. It goes to their other folder, whatever. I don't really care. So they don't see it right away. So eventually, though, I would say maybe 3 to 5 times a week, I get a message from someone that I've messaged in the past year that is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never got back to you. I'm like, yeah, right. You should have gotten back. No, but like, they say like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then we start a conversation. And then after a couple of conversations, I'll send them a friend request. We become friends on Facebook. And honestly, that's how I've met between Instagram and that's how I've met the past like 12 coaches I've signed, just casually. But it takes time. Like I form them for like a while, and then maybe I invite them to a free group, and then eventually invite them to a paid group. And but it's how you do that. I also then add any new contacts, like any new Facebook friends, because I get between 2 and 5 a day. I add them to my contact list, which I'm going to show you my contact list in a minute. Do any of my follow-ups, post on social media again, check in with my group twice a day, and then I continue forming. So what I do is I go to a post that I made the day before, and I look and I see who's liked it or commented on it that maybe I haven't talked to, and I just send them a message and ask how their week is. Like I've been asking a lot of questions about registering, because I'm doing my registry right now, and a lot of people have a lot of input. So I just send them, hey, thanks so much for like your input on my registry. I'm totally lost. How are your kids doing? Or, or whatever. Like yesterday I put a picture of my dog, and like a lot of people like that. So I would just send them a message and just say, hey, how's your week going? Haven't talked to you in a bit. Wanted to check in. And it just helps me connect with people more. So I'm not like, when I do invite them, it's not completely random, and I'm just consistently inviting them. And then I always say like, watch some sort of training video. So this is like the one that I give my coaches to do. And what a lot of them do is they put it in the Wunderlist so that every day they can just check through their phone and be like, click, 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 click. And it makes it really quick. Because like I said, if say you do only have 10 minutes between this and that, you could get some of this done in 10 minutes. And I think a mindset shift we need to have is that because you can't do it all at one time, you can't do anything. Like that's crap. Like just because you don't have an hour maybe or 2 hours to work doesn't mean you can't do what you can get done in 10 minutes. And if you add 10 minutes up throughout the day, you'll be able to work through this. Like you really will, so I think that's kind of a mindset shift that's important to have when you're planning your power hour. Okay. So there's a couple things I want to show you. I'm hyper organized. So I like showed Sheila my contact list, and she's like, oh my goodness. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of intense, but I'm going to say a couple things before I show you them. I spent a lot of time getting organized, a lot of time. And I would chunk out 2 hours to make my initial contact list. And it took me a long time to do, but now when I'm inviting or following up, it takes me 10 minutes. And I would rather put in 2 hours on a Saturday really getting organized to spend 10 minutes now. So I'm going to show you that next. All right. Okay. This is my love of my life. This is my contact list. Okay. We're going to start here. This is every Facebook friend that I have. Every Facebook friend. You can download your Facebook friends. I don't know how, because I didn't know you could do that. So I typed them all up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please, please, your time is so much more valuable. But if you YouTube export Facebook to Excel, you can make this really awesome list. And why I like this list is because when I invite someone, I highlight their name. So like, for example, today I was invited to my water challenge. A lot of times when I invite, I get stuck in, I don't have anyone to invite. You ever say that to yourself? Like, I don't know who to invite. Like, I've invited everybody I know. I've totally exhausted my warm market. We've all said it and heard our coaches say it. So now this list basically is tells me I'm lying to myself. Like, no, you haven't. You haven't invited these people. Look at these people. Look at this huge chunk of people. You haven't invited them to anything. Like, get over your ego and invite them to something. And there were some people I invited to my water challenge that I hadn't invited to a paid challenge yet. I didn't feel comfortable. But I was like, why not? Who doesn't need to drink more water? You know, like, so I just kind of sucked up my pride and I did it. And a couple people were like, yeah, I would love to join. And then they get like in my pipeline. So I really recommend making an amazing contact list, because then when you get to this invite, right, we're on our checklist and it says, come on now. And it says to invite, you can look at your list and know who to invite and who not to invite. So that's kind of my first call to action. This week, I want you to download your Facebook list. And a lot of people are like, maybe it's a waste of time. I 100% do not think it is a waste of time. And then what I do every day, and you don't even have to do it every day, but I do it every day, is I add any new contacts. So as you can see at the bottom of my list, a lot of people, right? It's a lot of invites. But at the bottom of my list, it like kind of gets unalphabetical. This is the new friends I've made this week. So like if someone had sent me a friend request from Instagram, I can do it right away. Just type their name in, right where they came from. Do you know? And then it doesn't get overwhelming. Because if I didn't do this for a week, I would get overwhelmed. I would forget where I knew them from. You know what I mean? Like it would like just mess me up. So I do that every day. Okay. Then I made this pretty tab. And this is like a whole nother training on how to use Excel. It's really not that tricky. I'm not tech savvy and I figured it out. But this invite list is what keeps me focused as well. So this is what I do for my invite list. Okay, and I'm gonna give you some numbers that are a little scary. I have made Success Club 5 for 22 months in a row, and I've made Success Club 10 for 6 months in a row. And I'm gonna tell you, it's because I have this really great invite list, and it has kept me organized. And I made it a goal to hit Success Club every month. If you want to do that, my corporate mentor told me you need to invite 120 people a month. That's like kind of a really big, scary number, right? But math and probability says that if you invite 120 people a month, you will hit Success Club every month. And that means you need 160 new contacts a month. I will tell you, I've invited about 1,500 people in 2015 to something, okay? That's a lot of people. And I will tell you that I've had maybe 110 Success Club points this year. That's 50 people have said yes to me out of 1,500. Do you know how many no's I hear? A ton of no's. You know what I mean? So you just have to do it. You have to invite a lot. So here's how I organize my invites. And maybe I'll come down to one down here that makes more sense. I'll show you. Okay, so for example, this girl, she wanted to do coaching, right? So I put her name in, pretend this is today. The first day I invited her, and as you can see, guys, let's just say 14. But you know what I mean? Like this is my entire year. The day I invite them, and then what I've invited them to. And so if I've invited them to more than one thing, I just put a slash, because probability also says you have to invite someone 5 times before they say yes. So I wanted to track how many times I'm inviting them to something. And then I put any notes, no response, or, you know, they want a discount or whatever. And then here's key. I assign a follow-up date. So I talked to her, I've been talking to her since June about coaching. And so I assigned her a date of tomorrow that I'm going to, and I have a call with her tomorrow, that's why it's tomorrow, but of when I'm going to follow up with her. And then say, for example, I message her tomorrow and she doesn't get back to me, or she says, now isn't a good time. All I would do is black out this column, and then I would assign a date for October. And I'll follow up with her again next month. And how this helps, I want to undo this because I don't want to forget about her. How this helps is when I get to October, all I have to do is filter my sheet, sort it A to Z, and on 10/7, these are the people I do my invites with, or whatever this day is. 10/5, these are the people I follow up with. So it's super easy. And these are all my leads, because I only I message them once a month about a free group, or every other month. So this is easy. I'll just go to my phone and I'll just text them. And it takes me 10 minutes. But if I hadn't scheduled it in advance and it came to like follow-up time, I'd be like, who am I supposed to follow up with? Like in the beginning, I'd Post-it notes everywhere. And I was like, I think I talked to you this month. And there's nothing worse than having a conversation with someone, forgetting that you talked to them, and then you see a week later that they signed up with somebody else. And that still happens to me because I'm not perfectly organized, right? But that sucks, doesn't it? When you're like, oh man, like I would really like, you know, to have done that. So this spreadsheet here, this bad boy, this contact list and this invite list is my lifeline. And it keeps me super organized. Okay, then the other thing, it's gonna be a little bonus I wanna show you. Here's another way I keep super organized, because I wanna save some time for Questions. I've turned most of my notifications off. So when you're doing your power hour, the only notifications I get are if I'm tagged in it or if it's in a group that I'm the admin of. I favorite all my groups that I check daily, like the ones I run. And then the rest of them, like whatever, it is what it is. Because otherwise I would have so many notifications. The other thing, are you ready for it? Are you ready? It's really cool. I don't have a news feed. I've completely shut my news feed off. That's right. No cute dogs, no funny memes or whatever they're called, memes, nothing. If I want to scroll, I can use my phone. I could go on my phone and I can like procrastinate or like be brain dead or whatever I want to do. But I don't have one. This is a Chrome extension. If you Google Chrome extension, kill your newsfeed is what it's called. I know this is like panic mode because you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do things, right? What you can't do is get sucked into the scroll. And that's the most important. And if you're running your business on Facebook, you got to do this for yourself. Here's what you can do though. You can check your notifications. You can check your groups. You can make a list. So if you've never made a list, I have interest lists for people like prospects. Right here, my right hook list. These are people who I'm interested in talking to about coaching. So I can go to this list and I can talk to them. Or I could do it on my phone. But I will tell you that as my bonus, it will keep you so focused because you just won't be able to do anything. And it sometimes sucks because I just want to stare at someone's first day of school pictures. But I also really don't want to be busy and not productive. So I had a few other things, but I wanted to leave us time for some questions. So I'm going to stop the screen share, breathe for like 6 seconds because I haven't breathed in a bit. I'm going to unmute, or you guys can unmute yourself, I guess, if you have any questions, because I know I went kind of super duper fast. Oh, wait, Sheila, I think you're talking. Hold on. You were talking and you were muted.
Oh, sorry. Can you go over what you showed me where you go in and find the groups and it tells you where your people are hanging out?
Mm-hmm.
That blew my mind.
Yep. So I'm going to screen share again. So the thing Sheila's talking about in my power hour list, remember how I talked about having 15 contacts? Like I go into a group and I message someone like, hey, saw you on the horseback riding page. My problem was I was always like, where do I find people? Like after I searched fit pregnancy 9 times, like I run out of groups to search. So if you go into your ad manager, it's right here on the left-hand side. And again, this is recorded, so you can go back and like do it when your computer's next to you. This may take a moment. When you get your ad manager loaded, my computer's really slow. Oh, they moved it a little bit. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it's under tools. Oh my goodness.
And the ad manager is only through your like page, correct?
Yes, you have to have a like page to be able to do this.
Okay.
Go to Audience Insights. And then this super cool thing pops up where you're able to put in your target market. So, for example, you could put in their age, you can put in where they're from, you could put in what other pages they like. So you'd search everyone on Facebook. You could search, like I said, look, where they're from, their age, male or female, what pages they like. You know, like my target market really likes The Biggest Loser and like Hungry Girl and like Weight Watchers. She's also a mom, so like maybe some mommy pages, just like the Power Editor. And then you could do like the advanced, are they married? Did they, go to college, whatever. And I'm just gonna show you what mine looks like because my computer's so slow, I don't want to waste time doing it. So when you put all that stuff in, what you get is this cool thing that I bookmark so I save time. And these are the top pages that people who are interested in what I'm interested in, like what I said I was interested in, like. So again, I put all that stuff in here, my target market. I put it all in here. And up here it says demographics, and then you click page likes. So you can tell right now, like my target market is obviously an expecting mom. So these are like the types of pages she likes. And it changes daily based on Facebook algorithms. It's like a live page. So like this wasn't up here the other day and now it is. And so basically I could click on like the honest company, because my target market likes the honest company. And I just go to one of their, I would go here and I go to the likes, and then like, I don't know, maybe this is terrible, but it's like a straight up judgment call. But I like scroll over their name. If it says where they're from, they don't look like they're in another MLM, I just send them the message. Hey, saw you on the Honest Mom or the Honest Company page. You know, I'm having my first in December. Have you ever ordered from them? Do you like their stuff? But it's cool because Facebook using this tells me, oh my gosh, using this thing, the audience insights, tells me like where my people hang. And then you're not, when you're doing your new contacts, you're not sitting there like, oh, I don't know what page to go to, you know, because you run out of ideas. And what's cool about this now is you can kind of do the same thing on Instagram, where like I can, if I go to the Honest Company on Facebook, when I'm forming new people, I could go to the Honest Company on Instagram too and do the same thing.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and that's like a whole nother, I could do like a whole, I have another video I can even send you on like how to do this like a little bit slower and like what it looks like.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Any other quick questions or anything?
I do.
Go ahead.
I saw the part where you said export from Facebook, your friends list or whatnot. What was the other tab that was in there that you pulled up?
In my invites.
Okay. How did you, was that automatically in there? Or?
No, I just made that. And my columns are, it'll take forever to screen share. Hold on, I'll tell you what my columns are. Where is it? So my invite columns are name, the original date I invited them, the program or like what I invite them for, open house or 21 Day Fix, whatever, notes, and then I have follow up for September and then follow up for the next month. And then each month I just hide the column for the current month and I add another column. So I just typed that in and then I froze it so it didn't scroll with me.
Okay.
Yep. And then I just added to it. Like it was blank in the beginning of the year. And now there's all these people on there and I can see how many times I've invited them or whatever and what I've invited them to because I can't always remember.
Okay. I just need a routine or something because I'm just like, ugh.
You know what? Take the time to make the systems. Like this is overwhelming and it's like a lot to do. But once you do it, it really saves me so much time. Like I was spinning my wheels trying to remember who I was inviting and who I talked to. And, you know, now it's easy. Oh, I talked to you 3 months ago, but I'm just going to send you a message and say hi because you're still on my list. And I have people who sign up with me as a coach or who sign up with me as a challenger after 6 months and a year. And I'm just patient, you know, like and I have people who always say to me, hey, thanks for continuing to invite me and not forgetting about me. I just was at a bad place in my life because that was my story. And so I know that it's not the best time for everyone. So I always keep people on my list. And if I didn't, I would forget about them. And then I would look like I was just trying to get their money. And then they told me no, you know, like you don't want to feel like that. So it helps. And the list is what's going to keep you, I think, the most focused. Sheila, this is going to pop off in a second. If anybody has questions,